Hi, welcome to the show. Well, how would you qualify the rally that we've seen in the Bank Nifty, and would you think it's prudent to take profits now?
Good morning, Ekta. So the corporate results season for December quarter just got concluded and we were compiling the data. It shows that there is significant improvement and upgrades that is happening across the sectors. And as the economy has opened and the number of COVID cases was contained, 3Q results witnessed a sharp rebound and demand recovery along with cost savings. So it has been one of the best earnings season and fairly broad-based across whether it's the cyclical sectors such as metals, autos and cement, including others such as capital goods, consumer durables, pharma and technology, including the banks that you have been pointing out in specific. So we expect the earnings momentum to sustain despite partly being pent up, given that there will be further revival in the economy. Government's focus on capex augurs well for the revival of the long-awaited private investment cycle. So now, post this equity rally, it may be reasonable to see some consolidation or time correction. However, we expect the corrections to be short-lived, given that incrementally factories and businesses are accelerating not only back to pre-COVID levels, but many of them are reporting even better growth. So the structural foundation of this bull market is very much on. Now, if you look at the rallies getting more and more broad-based, which means even distressed valuation companies like capital goods and engineering, utilities, manufacturing sector, including the select PSU banks, will continue to get recognized in terms of relative undervaluation, and that is what is happening. So the distressed valuation is getting recognized deeper down the market cap curve, or the value of opportunity still exists despite the rally. And that is what is happening in the banking sector in general as well. The other thing that we have noticed is that at least the larger private and the PSU banks have been prudent. They have already been providing pandemic-induced pain on asset quality, which has been lower than expected. They have already done front-loading of provisions and have guarded well against any potential risks on their borrowers. So I think that is what is market recognizing on the bank rally as such.
Okay. Dheeraj, I just wanted to get a little more specific. There is a possibility of a PLI for telecom equipment. So the likes of the Tejas networks of the world, the ITIs of the world would probably be in focus. Would you have a sense in terms of how important that would be and what kind of opportunity it would throw up as well?
The opportunity is very big. If you look at the government's thrust on import substitution, is a very, very longish multi-year theme that is likely to play out over the next many years, whether it is through raising of anti-dumping duty or providing production-linked incentive scheme. Now, in the budget, the revision happened in the PLI outlay to the tune of almost 1.97 lakh crores, which means that even if it is 5%, you are talking about 35 to 40 lakh crores of investment that can happen over the next 5 to 7 years. This may benefit sectors such as electronics, medical devices, mobile phone manufacturing, autos, chemicals, metals, and even defense. So I think India's time has come as far as manufacturing sector or the capital goods industry, which obviously depends on the manufacturing activity in the economy. I think the time has come for now.
Okay. All right. So you seem to be quite bullish with regards to the telecom equipment and the entire PLI scheme sector. But if at this point in time, Dheeraj, you had to put in incremental money into the markets, which is your top sectoral pick?
So as I mentioned, Ekta, the time has come for manufacturing sector driven by government's PLI scheme of close to 1.97 lakh crore, besides factors like anti-dumping duty being imposed. So local manufacturing will do well, and the manufacturing is one of the themes that we are playing out through capital goods or any other industries where localization will become prominent. The second is we also are trying to shift our attention to some of the PSUs, given the fact that the budget is laying emphasis on asset reconstruction company, monetization of assets, privatization, providing liquidity support to power discoms. And if these are implemented well, then we could see revival of PSU and its efficiency. On more structural and sustainable sectors where the earnings is very predictable, we like agricultural related companies which are into farm equipment like tractors, seeds, crop protection companies. We like specialty chemicals. I mean, that has been our favorite for many years. I think it will be a repeat of pharma of the last 20 years when they can scale up time after time. A lot of capex is happening in this specific sector. largely because of the pollution control norms in China. And we are actually seeing specialty chemicals because they are the building blocks for pharma and personal care and agrochemicals. Their growth is more sustainable and in terms of growth as a category. We also like cement, given the fact that cement has come out with strong earnings growth, but we believe the emphasis on low-cost housing infrastructure will see double-digit growth as far as the cement sector is concerned. Besides, cement as a play on proxy as a proxy play on infrastructure, because it's a cash flow generating business versus EPC companies that is more working capital intensive with poor cash flows. Hence, we like cement more as a play to India's infrastructure sector versus EPC companies in general.
Right. Dheeraj, what about building materials as a space apart from cement?
So Prashant, you're right. I think if talking about low-cost housing and revival of the real estate sector, the building material plays will also benefit, whether it is anything which has got to do interiors or including cement, whereas the interiors you're talking about floor tiles or paints, etc. They're all seeing volume growth. So it is not just pent up. It has got to do with more structural demand. Tiles, for example, you're talking about when you talk to Morbi units, because of the global anti-dumping duty on Chinese tiles, the local Morbi manufacturers are benefiting out of export opportunity there. And the local guys who are selling tiles in the domestic market are seeing reduced competition from Morbi players. So I think this is a structural thing that is happening because of global restriction or on anti-China theme, or as well as we believe there'll be more growth sustainable because of low-cost housing, which will play out for building material sector.